Okay, POV cameras. They're great, right? Perfect for capturing, well, point of view. Question becomes, for the everyday parent out there, what's the better POV camera? Go 3S or the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses? Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Zach. I'm a photographer and videographer, but more important than that, I'm a husband and a father. And today we're talking the Insta360 Go 3S versus the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses and what's the better POV camera. Now, to be completely honest, these two items are completely different items. They're marketed to different people. I just thought I purchased these, the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses, as a way to have an easy POV camera. And I thought, you know, the only other POV camera that I have and like is the Go 3S. How does it stack up? So I'm not looking at these through the perspective of everything that they are, right? Where they're audio device where you can listen to music and have phone calls and they've got the AI intelligence. I'm just looking at these through the perspective of a POV cam versus another POV camera. And to be clear, I purchased both of these items myself. I did not get these sent to me. The companies are not paying me, nothing like that. This is just my own thoughts. So let's start by looking at the video quality. I'll give you a quick breakdown of kind of what both of these offer, and then we'll jump into the test footage and I'll kind of walk you through what I saw when I paired the two cameras up against each other. So to start, let's go with the Meta Ray-Bans. So the Meta Ray-Bans have a 12 megapixel camera. They only shoot vertical format, so you get 1920 by 1440. Horizontal is not an option. And my guess is because with the camera being on the left side here, that would be left eye justified. And so you'd get way more stuff on the left side of your screen than you would on the right side, and it would just look weird. At the same time, they're marketing to social media. So I think that's their primary thought, like how people are gonna use it. Now these glasses do also record audio. There are a couple of different mics around the glasses. And we'll look at the test to see how they stack up against the Go 3S. And we'll also look at low light as it stacks up in the test footage. Now, the Go 3S shoots in multiple aspect ratios, vertical and horizontal, and one where you can kind of shoot both and then pick what you want in post. It is a 12 megapixel camera as well, but this one shoots in 4K. Also, you have a couple of mics on this camera, 3 right here. So let's jump into the test footage and see how these two stack up against each other. So we're gonna start looking at the low light performance since we're here in a parking garage. You've got the Meta Ray-Bans on the left and the Go 3S on the right. And personally, I think the low light of the Go 3S wins in this category. If you pause the video, I think you just get a little bit more detail in the Go 3S versus the Ray-Bans. It's not that much difference. But I think there is a little bit more detail, as well as the fact that I think the Go 3S just looks a little bit more natural, whereas the Meta Ray-Bans kind of looks like iPhone where they're trying to do that HDR. And then whenever you do that, you're gonna get these like micro jitters in the lens because it's doing digital stabilization, and when it being in low light, it's just, there's more going on. And so I think the Go 3S wins in that category. Once you're outside, I think the detail matches pretty well. I think they look pretty comparable. When it comes to image stabilization, I think, again, the Go 3S kind of wins, and you can see that in this shot here, where there's not a lot of bouncing happening in the Go 3S, and there's a little bit more in the Meta Ray-Bans. But also I think that when there is movement in the Ray-Bans, looking at it compared to this, it feels a little bit more of a jarring movement. Like I can see that. I can see a little flicker in there. When I'm looking at it on its own, I don't notice it, but compared to the Go 3S, I do notice that. Okay, so let's now check the audio quality. First, we're gonna listen to the Go 3S, and then we'll go back and listen to the Ray-Ban. Okay, so it's a little windy. How do both of these do audio test? Okay, so it's a little windy. How do both of these do audio test? This is me talking at a normal level. This is me talking at a normal level. So outside, honestly, I think I like the sound of the Meta Ray-Bans over the Go 3S. Both, you're hearing wind noise in both of them. They're not that far apart, but I think the quality just sounds a little bit better with the Ray-Bans, and it also makes sense. They're closer to my mouth, as where the Go 3S was way up here, glasses were right here. Let's hear how it sounds inside. How noticeable are these to you?
That one's pretty noticeable.
Okay.
That one was not.
So this is the other one, the sunglasses.
okay.
How noticeable are these to you?
That one's pretty noticeable.
Okay.
That one was not.
So this is the other one, the sunglasses.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think inside, again, they're pretty comparable. I feel like the Ray-Bans are gonna pick up less background noise, whereas the Go 3S is kind of getting a little bit fuller of an audio. But again, I think they're both pretty comparable. I don't knock one over the other. Okay, so image quality, I think the win has to go to the Go 3S. It's just got better specs, more options. And so for that reason, it's going to win that. And that's kind of obvious because when you have something that is supposed to do one specific purpose, like be a video camera, it's going to do that better than when you have something that has multiple purposes, being sunglasses, a camera, as well as an audio device. So I think it makes complete sense that video quality goes to the Go 3S. But the thing is, when you're looking at a camera for family use, the image quality isn't the only factor, and it's definitely not even the most important factor to some people. So the next area is ease of use. How do both of these stack up against each other when it comes to how easy are they to use? Well, I will say that the Go 3S is fairly simple, but it takes some getting used to. When you have the camera on its own, you press the button right here to turn it on to start recording. You can have it set up that you see a light indicating or you hear audio. And then you also have the action pod that you can pop it into. You've got a screen on the back where you can see it. It feels like an action camera. And so it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to. You got to learn how to navigate the settings and all these sorts of things. But I will say that I have struggled at times to use it. I have struggled to know, am I recording or not recording? So there is a little bit of, ooh, I don't fully know if it works all the time. I wouldn't feel super comfortable just handing it over to a friend who's never played with it and be like, yeah, go for it, have fun filming your family vacation. I would say you'd want to practice with it. Now, the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses, on the other hand, are very straightforward and very easy to use. You pop them on, and you'll hear a little noise that lets you know it's on. And all you do to take a photo is click this right here. You hear an audible sound, you see a little light flash right over here on the inside of the glasses. And then to do a video, you just hold it down for a second. Again, I hear a sound and I see a little light in my peripheral vision. If I can show you right here. You see that little light comes on. So it is easy to see in your peripheral vision. I mean, these took me less than 3 minutes to figure out how to use. So very simple, very straightforward. I'd feel completely fine handing these over to a friend and saying, hey, go film your family for 5 minutes, and not giving them hardly any instructions. So I think these definitely win the ease of use category. But again, in the same way that it made sense that this wins image quality, it makes sense that this wins ease of use. There's less buttons, less options. It's just simpler. Now, these are both cameras that you can wear. And so the idea of style, how do they look, definitely comes into play. And actually, hang on. Hey, babe. All right, question for you. Style, appearance, style. Which would you rather me wear? This on the hat clip or the sunglasses? Why? Doesn't look as obvious. Okay. But do you feel like, but you also don't love me in these sunglasses, right?
Well, inside, you look stupid.
I look stupid. She says I look stupid inside, which is fair. But compared to like my normal sunglasses,
I don't care if you wear that on your chest. The hat.
so you don't care if I wear this on my chest mount, but not on the hat
Yeah,
mount.
not.
Okay, which is my preferred way to wear it. So there you get a wife's perspective. But I mean, there are multiple options for wearing this. As the sunglasses, you only have one option, but you can use these in the hat clip or on the chest mount with the magnet. I think they both look kind of goofy. I think the Go 3S is definitely more noticeable. People are going to see it. I even went to a coffee shop and asked them, hey, which of these do you think is more noticeable? And the lady didn't actually even notice the sunglasses until I pointed them out to her. You know, I think the Go 3S is still small. It's still pretty unintrusive, but it is noticeable. The sunglasses, though, This is just a personal preference. I don't love the look of them. They feel too bulky. They feel too brick-like. I have another pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses that I absolutely love. They're slim. The piece right here, what is that called? I don't know, is very, very slim. And so I just don't love how bulky these look and feel. I personally think I would have to give the win to the Go 3S. My wife would probably disagree with me here, but I think I would rather have a dorky looking camera on me than have dorky looking sunglasses. Not dorky, but sunglasses that I don't love the style of. That's just my personal preference. I think either way, you kind of have to give and take with these. Also, I will say if you do get the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses, I would suggest getting the transition lenses. I did not get the transition lenses, as you can clearly see, and it basically makes them unusable inside. You can still see through them. It's like wearing sunglasses inside, but then you look like the guy wearing sunglasses inside, and my wife hates that. So if you want to use these indoors or when it's not sunny, the transition lenses definitely would be helpful for that. Okay, so let's talk about additional features. So starting with the Ray-Bans, these sunglasses are not just a camera. They have multiple other options and ways to use them. First and foremost being sunglasses. They are sunglasses made by Ray-Ban, great company. I love Ray-Ban sunglasses. You get all the quality of those sunglasses in these. Along with that, you also have a couple speakers built into the camera, so you can listen to music, you can listen to your audiobooks, things like that with this. And it's a really cool experience actually, because the speakers sit right above your ears, so you're hearing it clearly as if you were wearing AirPods, but you don't have AirPods in, so it kind of feels weird, but it's also really, really cool. Obviously, you don't have sound cancellation, but I do think the audio quality of these is fantastic. You can take phone calls on here, which is really nice. And then you also have a AI assistant built into the sunglasses. You just ask it anything, hey Meta, do this, hey Meta, whatever. I think one thing that is really cool is you can say, hey Meta, take a photo, and it'll do that for you. Or you can even ask it, hey Meta, what plant am I looking at? And it'll try to identify what it is that you're looking at. So you do have some cool features with the AI assistant built into this. Now the Go 3S, it's not sunglasses, it's not an audio device, it's a camera, but it does have some cool camera features. My favorite being the interval filming. And so if you are wanting to very easily, very simply film your family life, film the kind of vlog style, that interval filming is amazing. I've got a whole nother video, you can go check that out. And then you do also have the Action Pod with a screen built into it. You can flip the screen up so you can record yourself like this. You can also view the screen as a monitoring system when the camera is out of the case. And so that is a really cool feature. You cannot see what you're filming when you're filming on this. You can only see it after the fact when it transfers to your phone. So the fact that you do have a screen and you can see what you're recording is a great feature. Along with that, you have plenty of additional video settings in here that can make the filming better than the filming that you would get on the Ray-Ban sunglasses. So which is the winner? Well, I think the additional features of this is really, really cool and make this a great product. I think I'm looking through the perspective of I want something to film family life and be really easy. I think I'm gonna go with the Go 3S because you have more features that are focused on video. And it makes sense, but that doesn't negate how cool these sunglasses are and how great these additional features are. And then finally, iOS apps. So which of their iOS apps is better? Because these are not just devices that you're just going to use solely on their own. I do think you should use them with the app. Honestly, to get the video off your sunglasses, you have to use the app. You don't necessarily have to use the app for the Go 3S, but I think it's worth it. I think the Ray-Ban sunglasses app is very easy. It's very intuitive and straightforward. There's not much to it. There's a learning section, your photo section, and then settings. And I mean, it's very straightforward, very easy to use. You can set up so that your sunglasses automatically download the photos and videos straight to your phone without having to really go into the app. It's very simple and straightforward. But I will say that there is no way to edit your footage. So all you can do is send your footage to your phone, and then you have to use another app if you want to edit any of your photos or edit any of your footage. The Go 3S app, it has more options when it comes to editing. And really, I think that's where the app shines. And I think that's why you should use the app. And I've talked about this in another video, but the editing and the AI editing, especially on this app, is just phenomenal. You can allow the app to basically create a vlog for you, and it'll go through and try to pick the best moments in your footage for you. So I think that is a really, really cool feature. And I think for that reason, again, I'm looking through the perspective of what is going to be a better POV camera for your family. I think the app and the Go 3S win over the Meta Ray-Ban. So where does that leave us? Well, I think if you're the kind of person who's more into videography and specs and you want a camera to be a good POV camera, I think you're probably gonna want to go with the Go 3S. I think that's going to be the better option for you. But if you are someone who just wants a very easy and very straightforward way to film family life, you don't want it to be that much of a hassle, you don't want it to be noticeable, then I think something like the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses are the option for you. Both of these are going to serve you well. Both of these have different features and obviously are different products. Well, I think the Go 3S can do everything that the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses can do, and in terms of POV camera, even more. I think the Meta Ray-Ban sunglasses are going to be better at getting people who don't often document family life to start documenting family life. So there you have it. There's my perspective on these two devices. Both fantastic devices. I really, really like both. I think they're very different, but they have some similarities. And if you're going to choose one over the other, I hope this video has kind of helped you figure that out. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already, and we'll see you in the next video.